What's going on, everybody? So, would you like to make your TRX4 be able to turn its lights on and off with your transmitter? Stick around, I'm going to show you an easy way to do it. What's going on, everybody? So, had one of my subscribers leave a comment on my Land Rover Defender video and asked me if I could show them how I wired my lights up and how I turn them on and off. And it's a pretty easy thing to do. So this is my TRX4 Sport. It's the Traxxas one. It came with the lights and everything, but this is the light kit you could buy for a TRX4. It's going to go the same for the Bronco, the Defender, any of the factory installed Traxxas light kits you have. Now, I am running this one off my Flysky GT3C. This is a great little natively three-channel transmitter that can be hacked to run up to 8 channels, which I have done to this one. This is actually running a 3-channel receiver. The Defender up there is running a 6-channel receiver. So that's how I'm got mine wired up. It's a little hard to do this with the Traxxas transmitter, and we'll talk about why. So let's get the lid off this thing, and I'll show you how I did that. Okay, so got the lid off of the TRX. So let's take a look at the components we are using. Now, this is all, other than the transmitter and receiver, we're basically looking at all factory components. Other than really what you're looking at is the Bauhaus RC battery tray. EC5 connector, but I do have that wired to the stock Traxxas speed controller. Now this right here, next to your speed control, is your lighting box. This is where you have all these plugs. If you have a lighting kit, you know, like rock lights would plug into one, your light bar, your regular lights, whatever, is going to feed off of this. And there's a wire right here, comes off of your ESC. It's a little JST plug. There's one comes off the lighting control, and that plugs in there. The other wire is the single wire that is longer, and it looks like it has a servo plug on the end of it, and that goes to your receiver. And if you follow the directions from Traxxas, it tells you to plug this into here. That other wire goes over to your receiver and plugs in. What that other small wire does is actually get signal from the receiver and basically is a relay and turns this on and off. This sees battery voltage all the time. Now, at the end of the video, I'll actually tell you guys how to do this if you have a different ESC, you know, say you're running an AX system, a 1080, something like that. But for you Traxxas folks, that's how this is wired up. Now, the parts you're going to need to do this is what I'm putting up on the screen right now. So split screen here, you can actually see this Apex RC lighting control module, and I'm going to link that down in the description where you can pick that up. They're about 10 bucks. They are not waterproof. However, I do suggest you waterproof it unless you know you're just never going to be around water. It has a little piece of plastic around it. You just cut that off. Use conformal coating. If you're not sure how to do it, maybe I'll throw out a card up here or something, or I'll link to it in the description to my waterproofing receivers video, and that will show you the products you need to waterproof that. Basically, the same thing applies to the lighting control. Then I wrap either a piece of duct tape around it to seal it, kind of sandwich it in there because it is just a flat PCB board, or I will take a big piece of heat shrink and heat shrink around it. So that is how we have this wired up. Now, if we go ahead and spin this around, the extended top here, because it's got a Traxxas BEC in it, that helps. If not, you can waterproof and just stuff it down here on the side, whatever. So your lighting control is going to plug into a spare channel. Now, the reason I said this is easier with a different transmitter is now on the link to this part I have to Amazon, it actually shows you using the flip switch, you know, the one that would be right here on a Traxxas transmitter. Well, the problem is the Sport doesn't come with that. The Sport just comes with it comes with a 3-channel receiver, but it is only a 2-channel radio. It doesn't have that flip switch. Even the X-Max doesn't. The only one that has that flip switch is the the one for the Defender and everything that has the locking diffs and all that, all those channels are used. You don't actually have a free channel unless you actually bought that transmitter. And if you're going to do that, you might as well upgrade your transmitter. One like this is about $69 with a 3-channel receiver. It's very nice, very programmable. You can, basically adjust anything you want. I've got videos on this. And, or you could buy like the GT5. It's a 6-channel natively, not as programmable as a hacked one of these. Hacked one of these is going to cost you about 125 bucks. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to pick whatever receiver you have. You're going to plug that lighting control into the receiver to that channel. Channel 3, channel 4, channel 5, channel 6, whatever's free. You'll plug that in. And then on the other end, you're actually going to plug that single wire that comes out of the lighting control over here into the end of that. That is how you wire that. Now, once you map your transmitter to control, say, channel 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever you have that plugged into, and you manipulate that switch, it's going to turn that lighting control on and off. That is going to allow your lights to turn on and off. The LED control over here is always going to be powered. You do not kill power to this. This is a big point of contention amongst a lot of people. The plug right here that plugs into, that comes directly off the battery wires. It is actually tapped in right to the battery wires. Some people say it's not. If you don't believe this is getting battery voltage, you're welcome to believe that, but you're wrong. You can plug a fan into this and plug a battery in, not turn anything on, and the fan will sit there and spin. This is a direct voltage line. Right now, the truck's off. I've got a 2S battery wired up. Right now, this is seeing 2S voltage all the time. It's just not turned on internally because the receiver's not getting power from the ESC. So that is why you basically are not manipulating the light control. You're actually manipulating the receiver when it gets power to turn on and off. You're manipulating the actual, you're switching the switch, basically, is how that works out. Works really well. Now, that's the easiest way to do it. Like I said, you could get another Traxxas transmitter with extra switches and do it that way if you wanted. Now I want to show you guys one other thing. So this little wire harness here, it's hard to grab stuff when you're looking through a camera. So this is your servo plug, obviously 3 wires. Now, if you are wiring up that single wire, notice you have power, ground, and signal. That's what turns the switch on off as a signal. Everything plugged into a receiver gets power and ground all the time. It's just whenever the signal wire tells it what to do from the transmitter through the receiver. So that is why that plugs directly in. And even if you plug just a single wire into your lighting control, it's going to read that signal wire. Now this is a Y connector. This is so I could plug this into my receiver. And you can get shorter ones of this, but I can plug this into a receiver and then have 2 outputs. So what if I wanted to run 2 light controls? Well, this would be running 2 separate lighting systems off of that one light control. That's actually how I have this run in. So this is my Defender. It has the factory Traxxas lighting kit, and it also has lights in the head, the bumper, and the rear bumper. And those are from Apex as well. So obviously I have the plug for the lighting control and the plug for these. This is just one big kit. The front and rear bumper, 4 LEDs into basically one plug. So I have a very small version of this Y connector. In the end of my lighting control, that's plugged in. 2 outputs coming out of the lighting control. One going to the factory Traxxas lighting control, the other going to the LEDs for the bumpers. Now, if I wanted to, I could wire one lighting control to one output on the receiver, say channel 4, channel 5, channel 6, whatever. And then if I had another separate channel, I could wire a second lighting control to that, have 2 switches. So I could run, my main lights and then say switch on my fog lights, or I could basically turn these on and have like running lights. Or you can customize it to your heart's content. Just every switch you want to control lights on needs a lighting control and a spare channel on your receiver. Hope that helps you guys with that. Now, real quick, if you want to wire one of these up and you're running non-factory Traxxas ESC, like say you're going to run a Fusion, an Axe, a 1080, whatever. Mind you, this is It's kind of wired up backwards. Traxxas did it backwards. This is basically the female end and the male end. It's backwards from what anybody else would do. But basically you have this, I'm gonna show you this adapter. Now this came with a set of fans. Now this adapter right here, as you can see, this would plug into a Traxxas battery. This would plug in to an ESC, and that would give me direct battery voltage out of that battery into this JST connector. Now if I was gonna plug in those lights, this would need to be the other wire. But what I'm basically telling you to do is not to make this harness with the Traxxas connectors, but just see how this is made for reference. See how you're just getting direct power from here? So now you would get power from here instead of out of the side of the ESC. So if I had a 1080 in here, like a Hobbywing 1080, going to my, sorry guys, can't unplug an EC5 connector one-handed. So let's say this is, say you have an XT60, a Dean's, whatever you have, it doesn't really matter. So this is coming off of the ESC to plug into the battery. You would tap in, you would solder in a small connector with a pigtail that you could now plug into this lighting control. So the lighting control, instead of plugging into the ESC, is just going to plug right into here. It's going to get its battery voltage directly from the battery. So you've now eliminated the need for the Traxxas ESC. When you plug your battery in, your ESC gets power, your pigtail sends power to your lighting control, and then your lighting control is turned on and off by your lighting control. So hope that helps you guys on how to wire up your Traxxas lights and make those turn on and off. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'd love to help you guys out with anything, any questions you got. Take it easy.